Hey, but you didn't know I played piano. Now you do. I was listening to Zemeth. He put out a new song, and I hate MIDI trumpets. It's like the worst thing. It takes me out of the music so badly. And right now, I'm trying to transcribe it. I don't have any staff paper, so don't get at me. It's been a really long time since I've had to transcribe anything or use my oral skills. But here's what it sounds like so far. Oh, oh God. I don't remember the rhythm there because I didn't write down the rhythm. I've had a really long week, so I was trying to film a little bit earlier this week, but then I was like, I can't. My mental health is bad. I almost put in like I don't know what the word is called, but a mulligan maybe, where I just like had just a sewing video with music in the background. I don't care if I don't like get pushed to the algorithm. That's not part of my plan for YouTube. And I don't believe that the copyright for videos like that works to where they cut off all audio. I think what happens is if you have commercials playing on it, or if you're somebody that's monetized, all the money that you could possibly make off that video goes to the artists. So I might be trying that sometime next week or something. I don't know. I haven't been feeling socialization right now, but I'm like really excited to get back into piano because, well, it's not piano, it's French horn. I want to transcribe this piece for French horn. The thing is, oh, the song, I don't remember what the song is called because it's in Japanese, but it's one of Zemeth's new songs. And it's a really good song, except for the MIDI trumpet. I don't have a trumpet, I have a French horn. So my goal is to transcribe it through piano first because that's how I've always transcribed my music is go through piano first because I need to be able to visually see what notes I'm playing. I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to what's the word? Oh, it's been so long since I've done music. So okay, so D or like this is going to be easier for me. So B flat on like piano or A. I think that's an easier one too because if you did orchestra, A is the tuning A. Sorry if I just triggered you and you were in orchestra. The A, that's A on like pretty much every instrument that's like violin, cello, depending on how you tune them, but like yeah, it's supposed to be orchestra A or I forgot what the word is called, but A. But in French horn, it's E. So like I don't have my French horn out yet because I'm not ready to play the French horn. I have to like practice my scales. I was like kind of practicing my scales in the car, like at least the fingers, because I used to play French horn almost professionally. That's what I wanted to do as a profession. But lo and behold, music is hard. This has been a crazy week, by the way. I already said that. Last week I talked a lot. And then this week has been like up and down with my schedule. So like I had a closing shift, and right after that I had a turn and burn. I slept for 45 minutes. So I was super exhausted. And then today I also had another morning shift, and I am a night shifter. So it's been pretty rough, not gonna lie. But yeah, I gotta answer all the people in my thing. I'm definitely taking a break from pattern making after this. I do have a plan. I think I talked a little bit about it last week, but I am making a spiderweb beret crochet pattern. It's not going to be a paid for pattern. I'm not going to go through the testing process of it because it's a lot of work socially for me. So I'd rather just like set it out. And if it doesn't work for some people, then they can just notify me. But that's something I'm working on as well. But yeah, we got to get this done because I really, really, really want to get this on French horn so I can play it on TikTok. So I can be like, hey, Zemeth, put me in, coach. Put me in. I hate the MIDI trumpet, please. Lucky me. Nobody needed anything. Nobody's ready. I think I told the group that we were going to try to have it done by the end of this week. So let me double check my email. I don't remember where I put the email at. But if it's the end of this week, I'm going to give myself a little bit more time to work on the attachment part because I think I'm not in the brain space to do it right now. I was at work all day, and then like this week's been rough. It's about to start raining. All I want to do is play music because like when that inspiration hits, that's all you want to do. I have everything written down. I have all the pictures. All I have to do is rearrange. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on. All right, sent. Let's see. I have them going until the last week of this month. Okay, so I have plenty of time. So the assembly part is going to be the easy part. I have 3 people that are almost done with everything. I finally got the message out to one other tester that's just going to do the standard size. And then like we've been back and forth, like not ignoring each other, but both of us don't have our notifications on TikTok. She's like, oh, I don't have it on because I had a video go viral and I just don't want to see it. I'm like, that's so real because I just don't have it on because it's my secondary account. Yeah, I have too many notifications too. So, anyways, I'm going to continue playing piano. And then if I can get the whole entire like phrase done. So, I think it's about 8 bars or 8 measures. So, each measure is like da 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 da. I'm so singing out of tune, but I think there's 8 and then it keeps on going for a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do the whole song. I think I'm just going to do that part because that's the one that caught me. I'm like, oh, why? Why is MS my favorite metal artist right now? Why? Guys, I gave up on trying to transcribe for now because I think I want to get back to it. But I finished up this mostly because I wanted to start something else and I don't remember what it was. It's been a while, but I finished this. Let me get it charged up so I can show y'all because I don't think I showed y'all last time. You can kind of see it glowing already. Hold on. I'll let me light it up for a bit. Light it up. Okay. Ready? Wow! So pretty. I'm so excited. New beret. So I think what I actually want to do is I'm going to message Eerie Nuts with the pattern and ask her how she feels about me releasing a zine for this because I don't want her to feel like I'm ripping her off because I was highly inspired by her pattern. And I wanted a beret because I'm a beret girly. Look how pretty! Okay, so I'm gonna turn this light back on so I can see y'all or see myself more like it. All right. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna ask Eerie Nuts. I have it partially written. I want to see it off without the lights again. Let's see one more time. Woo! So cool. All right. Enough of that. Yeah, I have most of the pattern written out. I just need to upload the photos because I took photos. I'm going to wear this on Tuesday. So the skirt I was working on. I think my issue is that I'm on a creative block right now with just making content about clothes that I'm making. So I might take a page out of Seaside Spider-Verse's book. A lot of times she'll like hold up the pattern that she made and then she'll move the pattern out of the way. So I think I might kind of do that because like I do still kind of want to finish it up. I don't know if this is going to match. I don't remember what the fabric. Okay, so I don't think it's going to quite match. However, do I care that much? Probably not. So Tuesday we're planning on going to Melbourne still at this point. And I definitely for sure not this one. This one I'm going to sell. I think selling it for 40 would be a good because of all the work that went into it. The beret itself took so long and this yarn, the DIY glow yarn, also is expensive, so I might as well do something about that. 40 in person. How much did I say the berets were going to be? I think I was going to do 25 in person for the plain berets and then 30 for the striped or the ones with the whatever patch. Okay, so the striped ones 25, 30, 35, 40. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Not like it matters because I'm probably never going to a show because I'm too scared. I'm a scaredy baby of everything. I might get back to doing the music real quick. I do want to get back into music. I think that's where my brain's leading me, and it's not leading me down the sewing pipeline. I was just watching a TikTok about like being ADHD in general. While I still believe that fashion is not a special interest of mine, it's just an interest, a hobby that I have because like obviously I'm not fashionable all the time. I don't know much about fashion. I know some about 1940s fashion history because that was at hyperinflation, hyperfixation. That was a hyperfixation. Whereas like music is a special interest. I went to school to study it. I studied it since I was 5. I currently have my headphones in. Can't hear any music right now because I'm talking to y'all. But like I think about music all the time and like music does affect my mood, which it does for most people. Right now I'm starting to go crazy because of the music at work, but I can't transfer out because I was late one too many times. Good old me. Why did I even start this tangent? I don't know, but I think it's the okay, I remember. So I was watching a TikTok. The TikTok was talking about like how our hyperfixations change every like 6 weeks. Crochet stuck for a while, and I think it's because with crochet I'm able to do other things in the background, like travel. I can be in a car and crochet. Every year we go on our anniversary like trip. Last year it was a road trip, and because of the road trip, and I'm a passenger princess, I took some Dramamine and I made up a whole entire star blanket. Not the 6 day viral crochet star blanket. I didn't even know about that until after I came home from Tennessee, and I was like, oh dang, that would have been fun little content, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, I keep on forgetting what I was talking about. But yeah, every 6 weeks, like a hyperfixation loses. And I don't think I'm losing the crochet one yet. I'm for sure losing the crochet pattern making one. I'm really, really grateful to have the pattern testers that I do, but I'm starting to be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. They're very, very nice. They're very, very sweet. I had to finish the assembly part, but I'm done pattern making and testing for a while. This one's going to be free if I do get permission from Erie Knots, because I don't plan on doing the pattern testing. I've already said that multiple times, but I don't plan on doing pattern testing for this. I just plan on releasing and hoping for the best. It's going to be free. That's why I don't plan on pattern testing as well. It's just more of a way to get my name out there kind of thing. And then on top of that, I just think it's going to be so cute. Like, let me take out my hair and try it on. Okay. Like, look. I love berets so stinking much. How does it look? Does it look cute? I hope it does. Speaking of hair, I need a haircut. I'm just so tired. It's not that my bangs, like, they're really thick. Okay, I need to stop talking. All right, so this is going to go in the sell pile. Hacha! And then I will go play some more music. Hopefully I'll be able to transcribe some more. And oh, speaking of transcribing, one of my friends from college, we were just talking in my little video because I posted a little bit of like a sneak peek on TikTok of what I'm working on. It's a Zemeth song. I don't remember Zemeth. I already told you. I told her if I get around to transcribing the violin part, because I don't think I will, but if that is something in like I'm still interested in, because like I used to be a really good transcriber, and I don't think I realized that that could have become a career, or that could have been something that I made into a hobby. I'm not good at playing music like classically. I struggle to stick to rules, and I often struggle to like practice because I start getting more and more frustrated the worse I get. Like a lot of people, the more they practice, the more they like get better. But for me, it just doesn't feel that way because I just start getting frustrated. And like the last time I played piano seriously was pre-diagnosis of ADHD, and absolutely affects piano playing, affects French horn playing. I remember one time in college, I was doing a French horn recital. I think it was my junior recital. And I did two separate performances of this. It's a Mozart piece, and I don't remember the piece, but it's a popular French horn one. And I had to do it memorized for like the president's concert. So the president's concert was basically like the concert for the president of the university. And to qualify, you must be able to play a sonata, or basically a solo for your instrument, memorized and well. And I did it better memorized than I did looking at the paper. I remember having that discussion with my horn professor and being very disappointed in myself. So yeah, I've never been good at like playing music classically, even though it's been one of my interests. My hyperfixations was classical music, specifically orchestral music. It just never like I've never been good at playing in a classical setting. However, I've always been good because I was isolated a lot as a child. I would just like stay home because I didn't have friends. One, two, I wasn't allowed to go outside even if I did have friends. I also didn't have a mode of transportation to get to said friend's house because they lived in the sticks. But every now and then would get super hyper fixated on my piano, and I would just take a song that I really liked and then just play it. And it wasn't like I was really good at it. It took me a little bit of plunking around to figure it out. And I used to be able to like build chords under it, And I didn't realize that was like a skill that I should have kept up on, because I thought I was such a failure for not being able to do what the classically trained students were doing. I wasn't able to keep up with schoolwork. I remember being in oral training class, and we were doing like the not major minor. I don't remember what it's called, but like we were trying to like figure out the space, the distance between the notes. And because pre-diagnosed ADHD, I couldn't remember the notes, so I would hum it out loud, and one of the students got really upset because he had perfect pitch. He would get upset that I was like humming it back to myself. And it's because my brain was moving at like 1,000 miles per hour. And I think that was where I started struggling in school, because I remember like 2 or 3 weeks later coming to that same class, and the professor or somebody who also happened to be my horn professor, somebody mentioned the homework, and I just stopped. I was like 21 credits, a lot of classes for a music education major. That was 19 separate classes. Some of them were only once a week. Most of them were 0 credits. It sounds illegal, but that's just music education for you. They mentioned the homework. I stopped, dropped basically my mouth, and just like loudly proclaimed, "Oh my God, I forgot about the homework." I said I've never been good at doing like the normal music thing. So I think getting back into transcribing has been really good for my mental health, especially as somebody that's losing interest in making clothes. Not, I don't know if I'm losing interest in it. It's just that it's the sewing. I want to get back into sewing, but all I can think about is crochet right now. So, anyways, I'm gonna go stop yapping and practice some more piano. Hopefully, I'll get this transcribed by the end of the week. If not, then we'll figure it out. I don't believe I'll be able to transpose it onto French horn at the end of the week, because it's been a long time since I've done transposition. And on top of that, like, I have to build my chops back up. But I'm so excited to get started in music again. I've missed it so much. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna try to do this for y'all and like make it sound good, but don't laugh at me, because I'm probably gonna mess up, because I get really like I get scared in front of pressure. So I'm gonna try. I've only learned like this little portion, and it's like post chorus, but okay, I gotta be better. It's like I'm like, and then my touch is like really really off. I've never been good at touch, so like you're gonna hear like loud, soft, loud, soft. So I apologize for that too. Ta-da! All right, so I'm gonna work on that, and it's all just written here, and I feel bad because it looks so bad, because I am properly trained. I am classically trained, and why am I writing it out like this? But I want to write it down properly and then get it onto French horn. I need to speed it up, because this is half speed. I've been playing it along with CapCut. I have it in CapCut right now. I screen recorded the song to the exact part that I needed, and then I cut them into little sections, into 4 sections, 8 sections. And I slowed each section down to half the speed, because I was really not catching any of the notes. For a while, I think I was starting off because like I could not hear anything. And then for some reason, my brain was like, hey, CapCut has that slow down function. So, all right, we're going to slowly build this up. My fingers, like the techniques, is a little bit hard because I'm doing a lot of crossovers. So let me show you kind of what I mean. So right here at the end. So that's hard. I haven't done something like that in a really long time. I think the last time I'm trying to think of a song that. like there was a little bit of crossover there. I couldn't really show you because I'm using both hands, but like this is one that's like ingrained in my head because I learned this song or that piece. I don't remember who it was by. Stra. I think that's wrong. It starts with an S, but I learned that piece pre senior year. And when I got to college, I didn't tell anybody that I actually knew how to play piano because I wanted an easy A. And because I did that, like my very last performance in piano class, I went all the way up to piano 4. I skipped over piano 1 because I was like, oh yeah, I did it at my last school. I did not tell them how skilled I was. I started playing this piece, the played that, and my professor was like, do you actually know how to play piano? I was like, yeah, I do. And so she gave me another piece, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was like Children's March or something. But she made me actually play, and it kind of sucked because I was like, oh, damn it. I could have gotten away with it if I hadn't tried to just be bored in class, you know? Because like she could listen into the she could listen to it into what we were playing so that she could like come up and ask us, hey, how are we doing? Because we all had headphones for our keyboards. And I think that's how she found out because she would listen into me and like I wouldn't mess up when she was listening into me because like she was discreet. She was sitting in the back of the classroom. So all right, I gotta stop blabbing. I miss music so much. Can you tell? Well, I'm at 0.7 speed. I don't think I'll get to 1 speed or like normal speed soon, but I may have slowed that down. That was one of my better runs. I'm so impressed with myself. I didn't think I'd be able to do this so long after I've studied transcription. Like I've never really had to transcribe anything for college. I just had to do like auditory stuff, but like this is so much fun. Think of all the metal music I could write on my piano. Hey, last I saw y'all, we were practicing piano and I got to 0.8 speed. So I'm almost there. I had to give up last night because the trills were getting me. And it's because I have no finger dexterity anymore. I could only do it for like 3 minutes, which sucks. So maybe I gotta practice some trills. Now I understand what warm-ups were for. It only took me until I was 33. So lately I've been feeling down. And one of the things I do when I feel not so good is I cut my hair. Let me show you the bag of hair I have. This is a bag of hair. Every year I cut my hair and I just stick it in here. Normally I write the year, I think. Yeah, this one was 2023. I don't know why I do it. If you're here and you're pretty grossed out, sorry, this is a goth channel. So goth chicks are typically very weird. This is from 2021. And then I have one from 2022. Yeah. I think I either didn't. Oh, wait, there's one more in here. 2020. I'm missing 2024. And I don't know if it's because I thought I had thrown this away or if I just didn't cut my hair in 2024. I thought I did. Maybe it was just trims. But yeah, I want to cut my hair. I'm so tired of my hair right now. And it's too long to do anything. So I'm going to cut our hair. I'm going to listen to Dragon Guardian because I've been obsessed with their music lately. And it's just what's making me feel better. So, all right. I'm not going to do like a little time lapse or anything because that's just, you'll see the end result. So we're in the process of straightening the hair now. I feel so relieved with my bangs. They got so long because I don't know how to maintain my bangs and like whatever. I'm just doing a quick straightening so I can get the curls from my hair being up, like taken out. And that way I can see what it really looks like. So I tried to do a little bit of layering on this side. I can't see the back of my head. I could probably like use the mirror or something. That doesn't help. Wait. Yeah, that doesn't help. Okay, anyways, it's okay. Nobody cares about the back. I don't care about the back because I usually cover it with my bandanas and berets. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. This side looks fine. I have a feeling I'm going to want to cut some more of this side, like kind of like cut it down this way. but I like the layering on this side. I've been cutting my own hair since like 2016. No, not 16, 2006. It's almost been 20 years since I started high school. Wow. I can't believe I've gotten to this age. Anyways, this is not the point of this video. I've been cutting my own hair for a while. I've been dyeing my own hair. There's only like a couple times that I didn't do my own hair. One of them being like when I bleached my hair. Before this, I bleached my hair by myself, and then somebody, like my ex-best friend, was like, oh, this person could do a really good job at it, because I guess they were like in cosmetology school or something. Not their fault. This is 100% my fault. My hair was so damaged that when they went in to help me with my hair bleaching process, it just fell off because of the damage done to it. So if you're bleaching your hair, please, please, please use caution, especially if you're younger. Please, please, please use caution, because your hair can and will fall out if you bleach it too many times, too rapidly, because you want your hair to be white. If you want your hair to be white, don't use bleach just to make it white. Try to get blue. If your hair is like a darker brown like mine, use a blue bleach, because that will help get the red out of there. And then on top of that, you'll want to get like blue hair dye, but use a very tiny amount of it. Put some of it in your conditioner and let it sit in your hair like you normally would do with conditioner. And also, like, maybe dye your hair just like for 5-10 minutes. Let it sit in your hair with that blue so that it doesn't really take the color. It just does enough. You'll have to refresh it. And that's what we learned with my husband's hair, because I haven't done like hair color in a while. His hair is very similar to mine. Well, color wise, it's a little bit lighter than mine. And when we tried to do the purple to get that ice tone in his hair, that gray white in his hair, it didn't take, because his hair has red undertones. So definitely use blue. I don't really have much to say about my hair. I think I need to even this out, that's for sure. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. But yeah, this is my hair short now. I love having longer hair, but it's just so much to maintain. And if I want to keep on doing like the 1940s style throughout the summer, and with the summer being so stinking hot, I think this makes the most sense for me to do my hair, like cut my hair now. I feel like an Ajumma now. Like, only Ajummas want to cut their hair short, and I've definitely hit that point in my life where all I want is like shorter hair so I don't have to maintain it. I understand now. I get the issue with having longer hair. Okay, this is it. This is all I want to do. I don't want to get too fancy with like layering and all that. I do try to layer a little bit just so I can like get some texture in there, and then that way my like curls don't sit flat on top of each other. I know like most people do the U shape, but like, let's be honest, I haven't done true vintage since 2023, so who the fuck cares? I tied it up a little bit to see how any of the hairs were dangling. I trimmed that. I did the same with like the half updo. I haven't done any with like pigtails, but honestly, I don't really care at this point. It's fine. Like I said, I normally wear a beret or bandana to cover up my hair. I am most relieved about my bangs. My bangs have been so annoying to me because they just didn't look even and they looked pretty ugly, but now they look much better. So I'm going to take a shower so I can curl my hair. Oh, here's the bag, by the way. I have more down here. This is all just trimmings, but the real bag, the first cut, is right here. So it's going to go in my bag of hair. I don't know. I think I started keeping them because I wanted to do like Victorian hairstyles at one point where like, you know, there's like this rat's nest thing. I don't remember what it's called. But basically they took their old pieces of hair, like scrumpled them together and then put them underneath their like Gibson tuck. And that's kind of what I was starting to do with all that hair. But then I was like, that's too much work. But maybe I'll get into like Victorian hair art. Doubt that too, but it is a possibility. And if not, I don't think I have enough to donate. I mean, I definitely have a lot of hair in there, but like lengthwise, I don't think I have enough to donate. And plus, a lot of it is like the dead ends because I don't trim my hair throughout the year ever, unless it's my bangs. And even then, it's just like, it's definitely not enough. Maybe somebody will want to take all this hair off of me and do Victorian art out of it, but I'm just gonna toss it in the bag. Goodbye 2025 hair. Hey, it's like 5 hours later. I didn't have it in me to immediately take a shower, but I did work on something. I worked on some leg warmers. So I really like this pattern. I found the pattern. It's a grid or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. It's a chart on Rednote that I found. And it's pretty neat. I do plan on wearing these tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to... I'm sorry, buddy. It's storming outside, so he's like super jumpy. I don't believe I'm going to finish my skirt thing. And if I do, it's not going to match that green. I have that spiderweb crochet bandana or beret that I want to do. Like, I've been struggling, y'all. I struggle a lot with everything. I'm struggling with socializing. I know I need to pay attention to the tester group. I'm definitely taking a break after this tester group is done from making patterns, at least garment patterns, because I don't emotionally think I can handle it. Not as often as I have been. Like, this is 2 patterns in less than 6 months, so I definitely don't believe this is the right calling for me right now to try and do so many patterns back to back. Some people, they can handle it. Just me, I struggle with socializing in general. I'm about to watch Radis's video on goth consumerism and gatekeeping in Honest Chat, and I think in the beginning they mentioned something about baby bats not really like going through the awkward phase. And I think what's going on with that, because they're not the only ones to have that like thought and mention that the baby bats aren't really having that phase. I think a lot of people are just like, they know they have an algorithm, but they don't realize how much that algorithm feeds just the perfect content to you. Your algorithm tells you basically what you want. And I don't know how to explain that outside of a lot of algorithms can pick out what's the best looking thing. A lot of algorithms, like, okay, so let's take trad goth, for example. Probably the most popular goth subcategory, whatever. Probably the most popular goth subcategory right now in the fashion sense. And with that being the thing, more people are wanting to flock to it. And my views on trad goth aren't like super negative. They shouldn't be negative. They're just people trying to dress the way that they feel they like. They're enjoying fashion in the way that they enjoy. My thing behind it is I think there's too many people trying to look like the perfect trad goth, and that's never like kind of defeats the purpose of being alternative in some aspects. I don't want to get a lot of flack for this, and I'm not trying to give any creators flack for this. There's a lot of times somebody will do something really popular, have like a really popular clothing item on, and then everybody, it's goth influencing at the end of the day. And I'm not saying everybody's doing it. And at the end of the day, anybody that posts online anything, they in a way influence people. I know I've influenced people to get into sewing. I know I've influenced people to get into crochet. So I'm no better than them. However, I think the whole kids aren't going through the awkward phase thing isn't really, I think that's an online take, because the people who are going through the awkward phase aren't posting themselves online. And if they are, they're not getting much traction because they're not the trad goths. They're not the conventionally attracted goths. I think too many people don't realize how much the algorithm feeds you. And then it's nothing against Radis, because they're not the only one to have this opinion. I've had this opinion before too, where I'm like, why aren't the kids doing an awkward phase? I remember one of my coworkers was like, oh, these kids are not having any awkward phases anymore. They're not doing the blue eyeshadow as I, like, yes, the day prior to that, I had worn blue eyeshadow. And they're like, well, you're doing it in a pretty way. And it's like, yeah, but like, there's a lot less third spaces. And I will talk about this on end about how third spaces no longer exist. And I think that's part of the reason why we're not seeing these kids going through the awkward phase. I see it all the time, but I'm also like more observant than most people. I go out, like, it's not that I go out, but I go places that people feel comfortable experimenting. So one of the things that I will, I guess the word's not really preach, but I will say and mention is that if you're coming to Disney or Universal, or like you're in the Orlando area in general, absolutely experiment with your fashion, because nobody's going to see you again. This is a travel destination. We have people who come for one day and then never ever return. Absolutely. If you're somewhere like this, it's a great place to experiment with your fashion. And I think that's why I notice it IRL more than most people do. is because there are people willing to explore with their fashion. That's the reason why I decided to explore with my fashion. It was hard when I was breaking away from the 1940s stuff, but it was also like when I was first getting into the 1940s stuff, there was a lot of people that were encouraging it. One, because it was Disney and they do the Dapper Day thing. And two, it's just like more people feel brave out in this area to try something different. So that's my 2 cents on the kids not going through the awkward phase, because kids are. It's just that we're not seeing them. We're not being pushed, those kids in the algorithm. I think I am, but I also have like, I have a very weird algorithm. And then on top of that, I often get pushed smaller creators or people who are just posting because they want to post. I get that a lot on my For You page. And I think it really has to do with the music I share. A lot of the music I share is for the awkward people. So anyways, I'm going to continue doing my hair, and then I'm going to start working on another skein. Oh, by the way, I'm using Big Rape Twist. I didn't know what I wanted to use it for, and I'm glad that I'm using it for this. I'm going to have a lot left over. I just don't know what to do with the rest. I'm just so excited. This is going to be so cool. I forgot how much easier it is to do my hair when I don't have a ton of pounds of it. This was so much faster ever. And then like my hands aren't as overstimulated, because I did tell this to one of my mutuals that I'm starting to get overstimulated with doing my hair, and that's why I don't do my hair as often when it's longer. But it's done, and it took less than 30 minutes. So going back to Rabbit's video, they were talking about the same thing that I was, basically about how the algorithm pushes like the haul content because people like to see the new shiny things, and then they like to push all like the performative, I guess, those kinds of videos. And so, yeah, basically the same point that I made with the whole, you're kind of fed your algorithm and you're not really shown the bad parts. Right now, I'm at the part where they're talking about capitalism crisis. My hair took less than 20 minutes. It's at 1906. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, I did talk a little bit through it, like 6 minutes, but still. Anyways, yeah, listening to them talk about capitalism makes me feel better, because like I am somebody that's kind of anti-capitalism. I am very like, I'm not super outspoken on it, I don't feel, but I'm more outspoken than some. I think it's very important to know, and like, I know I'm not like a huge content creator or whatever. I wouldn't even call myself a content creator at this point. I literally just vlog. And on TikTok lately, I've just been posting whatever. The only time I have like an organized thing is through YouTube Shorts, where I post things that I've made, but even, or like makeup, like how I did my makeup or how I did my hair. It hasn't been bringing me joy. And Rabbit also talked about how their content, like they used to do a whole bunch of Halloween content way back in the day, where they would do like Halloween hauls and all that. And I was the same exact way. And it's really disappointing, because I remember getting those views. I still get notifications on the content from back then, that like it's just still being pushed to the algorithm, because one, I wasn't doing the goth look back then. I was more true vintage. So I looked more conventionally attractive, I guess. That's not even the right word for it. I looked more acceptable back then. I've done a lot of crazy makeup looks lately. And like, to be honest to myself, I don't feel like it looks crazy, but I know from the outside looking in, it's pretty wild and out there. But like, it's really disappointing when like I've always wanted to do like big things on the internet, you know. I've been online since 03, and I remember when YouTube first became a huge thing, I wanted to be with one of the I wanted to be an Asian YouTuber. Like, there was a community of the Asian YouTubers, and I wanted to be part of that group, because I just felt like I would belong a little bit there. And it's because of like the deep-seated root, or whatever, the deep-rooted seed, whatever that phrase is. I've never felt like I fit in, and it's been especially strong lately. I don't know if I talked about this recently or last week or whatever. It's been especially strong where I just don't feel like I belong. At work, we've had these discussions like of like, we'll have a question of the day, And it's always something I can't answer because I don't watch movies. I'm trying to like start watching movies, and I don't know if it's because I feel pressured to watch movies lately, but I don't watch movies, and it's always a question of the day about a movie or like a like sequence or whatever, or sequel, whatever, like Marvel movies. I've never watched a Marvel. I mean, okay, I have watched Iron Man, I believe. I think the last time I actively watched a Marvel movie was either 2010 or 2011. I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I don't keep up with I mean, I do watch X-Men, but it's also because I'm in love with Rogue. That's the only reason why I watch X-Men. I have watched some movies, like I did watch recently Sinners, and it's only because my best friend went and watched it first and wanted to watch it again and invited me out, knowing that I would probably like it because it's vampires and it's music, like two things I really, really love. And I would have never watched that had they not gone and watched it first. I watched Nosferatu because I felt like I needed to, because all the other spooky girlies were going out to watch it. So I was definitely influenced to watch that. But like, I've been feeling very othered lately, listening to Rabbit talk about how their content's not been doing well kind of reminds me that I need to not really think about that. And that's not where my value is. My value is in my art, and my art is unique. And I need to keep on remembering as well, my art is so unique that it won't be picked up by big companies like Shein to be replicated. And I need to, like, in a way, I'm very, very glad that it will never be picked up by places like Shein. But also, it's kind of sad because I worked so hard and I've lost a lot of followers. I talked about this recently in a mutuals only post where like a lot of times I'll post something and then I'll lose a bunch of followers, which I shouldn't care about at all as somebody who's like constantly preaching, hey, I don't want to become big. I'm not in it to become like this huge influencer. I'm literally just here to have a place to post and like get my thoughts out and talk about my crochet and my sewing and like any other arts, like recently playing piano. I just want somewhere to post that. It's hard because like the numbers they get to you, especially when you like grew up on the side of the internet where becoming big on the internet could become a career. But I am going to stop talking. I want to make another one of these so I can get these leggings done. I do really like how this came out. The top of it was like kind of weird. I was going to maybe think about making it flare out, but I changed my mind. So I'm probably not going to make a pattern for this. I'm so burnt out on making patterns. All right, I'm going to do that. I do need to still reach out to Erie Knots to see how they feel about me using them as inspiration. If she's not okay with me using her pattern, like the base part of the pattern, as my inspiration, then I'll just change from 8 to 6. No big deal. But I'll just reach out to her soon. So I just got to the part in Rabbit's video about music and how goth as a subculture is based on music. And I'm so tired of the argument because I hear it all the time and it just sounds like a catch-all for people who don't want to be othered in the goth community. And it's one of those like those things that people keep on talking about and nailing to the ground, like, oh, goth is music based, and it is. But to limit it to just like one genre is like really frustrating. So goth, yes, there is a definitive line of goth music, although hey, let's not say definitive, but there is like a very like square location, much like emo, like hardcore emotive. I think that's what it was called when it first started. There's like a hard like line of where it came from. Happy hardcore is probably the best example because it's like very, very like it came from Jungle D&B and another one I can't remember. But like it's very like there is a line where it started, but to think that from the late 70s, early 80s, it hasn't evolved, and saying that if you don't listen to that style of music, then you're not goth. There's so many ways to enjoy goth. And I think too many times people get stuck on just listening to music. because goth is so much more than just listening to the music. It's being othered, being outcasted. It's something that we've felt. Like, I won't say that I've been a goth for a very long time. Being goth, like, I didn't even like associate myself with goth for the longest time. I just called myself emo for a really long time because I just didn't really understand the subculture. And I knew it was more music based and I never really listened to the music, but nowadays I do. But like, to limit a whole community of people because it's just music based is, I'm afraid it's an online take. There's so many more music genres that can fit like under the goth umbrella. I think goth itself, like, there's some people that believe goth is an umbrella term and some people that believe goth is like a little term. And I think that's where there's confusion, because goth as a genre in music, I think you can put dark wave underneath it, but also goth itself as a genre is its own thing, as in like there's a certain vocal type that you have to use, there's a certain like guitar like sound that you use for the goth sound. So I think that's where the division is in knowing that. And on top of that, there's always been gothic like literature. Like, there's gothic architecture, there's gothic, like, I mean, I don't really want to talk about the Visigoths because I don't really know much about the Visigoths. I don't think that's really like part of it. Maybe part of the architecture is where we get the Gothic architecture from. I don't know. I like architecture. I'm just not that kind of studying architecture. I just like looking at it. But to diminish people who's not really into the music scene, I am fortunate enough to have had a classical music education under my belt. Not everybody has that. Some people are more inclined to just read a book and get lost in the book and read gothic literature. Some people are more inclined to watch gothic film because there are gothic films out there. And I think just saying, oh, it's just about the music is kind of limiting. And I know it's a way to gatekeep the community. And I understand why we want to gatekeep the community, because there has been a lot of instances of the wrong people joining the community and trying to infiltrate. But I think that's the wrong way to do so. I don't know. I don't have much more to say to that, except for, like, I think we're focusing on the wrong things when it comes to listening to goth music and being goth, you know? What a phenomenal video from Radis Radis. I highly suggest watching it. It's very on the nose for, like, my thoughts as well, being in the goth alternative community. But let me finish this real quick so that I can give you guys an update of what this looks like. I think I know where I'm at, because like I'm having to like double check every now and then. Give me 2 seconds. All right, here's how far I got within the last however long that video was. I don't know how many rows this is, and I don't feel like counting, but this one's like a little bit more than halfway done. Yeah, a little bit more than halfway done. This is going to be the top, by the way. So it should work out to where this goes up to the black. I think that should be where it ends. And then I'm thinking of making like a little tie or ribbon thing to go inside. I don't know what color I want to make it out of yet. I do have quite a bit of lime green, but it's a different kind of green than this. So I might just do black. I do have quite a bit of the sparkly black twinkle left over. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know if it will be enough, to be honest, but we're going to try. And then I don't really have much more to say after that. God, I'm stressed about like speaking, y'all. Not gonna lie. I'm so stressed about being social. I'm starting to like kind of break down and regret everything I've been saying in the last like 5 minutes. I need to chill out. This vlog might be a very short one, so sorry if it is. If it's really short, then maybe I'll just end up doing like music at the end or something. I don't know. Okay, I took a little bit of a break from crochet because I was starting to get really overwhelmed with socializing. Just being awake and sitting up in general. But now I'm making chocolate dipped pretzels. See? I'm using dark chocolate because my husband likes dark chocolate. And then after this, I don't know what he's eating. It's probably rice. But after this, I plan on going into the sewing room because that's about the time my husband will be off for work. and then I can just work on some sewing stuff. I'm not going to record the process of it. I'm just like so over it right now. I'm just so over content creating. I don't call myself a content creator anymore. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just like posting stuff and then being real and then just showing and just doing things the way I want to do. And I've just been like really reevaluating my presence online. Like, I almost want to go anonymous again. I used to have the handle anonymous31392 for like the longest time. That was my handle on everything because I just didn't want anybody to know who I was. Not like anybody cares about my life, but it's not that I want to stop making videos because I do really like vlogging. It's a lot of fun. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just like not feeling alive anymore. Not feeling like I'm contributing anything to the crafters world. And I'm just existing and just taking up space. And like, I don't know. It's been tough. I think I'm just depressed, which honestly kind of tracks for me. So we're going to keep on making these. I have quite a bit more chocolate. Ah, shit. Well, I got to clean that up real quick. But I have a lot of chocolate that I need to go through. I was going to show you guys how much chocolate I had left on here. Like, I have all this chocolate, so I'm going to try to run through that. Sorry if you guys are getting like the scraping of my chin against the mic, because I'm not trying to be formal right now. I'm just trying to get by through the day. I'm pretty sad. I know what's wrong with me, and it's just that I'm not socialized, and it's like, this is my way of trying to socialize, but like also, what am I doing outside of this? There's so many like shows I can go to, so much like fun alternative things I can do, but I'm too scared to do anything because I have social anxiety, and I'm like not willing to get myself out there without having somebody else nearby. But like also the people near me, like no offense to them, but we're not in the same community when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I love my best friend, I love my husband, but neither of them are goth. And neither of them are into VK either. And like, those are two of my biggest like personalities right now. And then fashion making, like my best friend, at least she's into like cosplay. So that's something we can get along with. Not that we don't get along. Like, my best friend is my best friend for a reason. But like, I just feel so lonely and like, I probably shouldn't be talking about this on here. I'm just depressed, y'all. Moral of the story, I'm depressed. I think something I struggle with too, with like friends in general, like, and I hate like making comparisons or whatever, is like, I've never had a stable friendship before. I have the most stable relationship right now. I have the most stable best friend right now. I'm the unstable one, and it sucks because like, I've never known stability. My parents have always like been super unstable, and then on top of that, like my friends, they've always moved away, or like they realized I was neurodiverse without telling me I was weird. I mean, obviously, I was told that I was weird all the time because that's how I got bullied. But I think one of the most longest lasting friendships I had was like, not to get too deep into detail, but it ended up fizzling out in a really bad way. And I'm pretty like traumatized by it. And I don't want to say traumatized as in like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It's just, it was a really bad friendship. And I'm scared to make new friends because of how bad that friendship was. I didn't notice it at the time because all of my friendships at the time were really bad. I just thought it was normal. I had Bibles thrown at me by supposed good friends. I was used because I was the only one in the group that could drive a car. They all like kind of ostracized me and like made fun of me behind my back, and I didn't know it because like, I just thought that people were being nice to me. And like, growing up, my parents were my first bullies, and I just didn't realize that wasn't normal, you know? And so all this to say is like, the last friendship before my current like friendship era really like scarred me, and I'm terrified of making new friends. I got really lucky with my current best friend because I met her while that last friendship was fizzling out. And my best friend, she's super, super duper sweet. And I wouldn't say she's talkative, but compared to me, she is a lot more engaged in conversations. And I feel so bad because I feel like I'm not a good friend to her because I'm always like never texting her first, and also like really bad at responding to their texts and all that. I know I'm a bad friend, and it's like I think it's because of the way I was raised to just be quiet, shut up, and like just obey. And I know that's one of the reasons why I struggle to make new friends. And like currently I'm dealing with a kind of friendship breakup, but not really, because it wasn't really that true of a friendship. It was a coworker friend. And I thought I found a good friend. I thought I found a good person, but I'm realizing that they're really not that great of a person. And it really sucks because I thought I found somebody that I had some common ground with. Like we both were into goth, like fashion, I suppose. Me more so than her, but she's exploring her gothness, and like she's always had like the darker side towards her and all that. But like personality wise, we just don't really quite get along. And it felt a lot like my relationship with my ex best friend, where everything was catered to them, and like anything that I did could be under scrutiny. And I think that's kind of like triggering my emotional state right now. It's just, I'm trying to get myself out there. I'm just scared of getting hurt again and like just not being good enough, because that's just the way my life was my whole entire life, was never being good enough. And I'm feeling that a lot right now because like my art, like I love my art style. I love my fashion. I love the garment making I've been doing, but I'm not good enough of a talker. Like it was very evident when my best friend and I went to watch Sinners. I spilled popcorn everywhere, and it's really fucking embarrassing. But like I spilled popcorn everywhere. How did I lose all my motor controls, you know? And then I went downstairs because I was brave enough, because I am always brave enough to tell people when I'm wrong and like ask for something so that they don't have to do it themselves. I went downstairs looking for a broom and dustpan, and the person I talked to was so super incredibly sweet. They offered to clean it up for me, and we talked about fashion and how fashion is an art style and not just clothing you wear. And I asked at the end of the interaction if there's any way I can like give them a cast compliment or something, and they told me that I could talk to their manager. And then I clammed up at the end of the movie to talk to the manager. I'm very, very lucky that my best friend was there to help guide me through that. And like by guide, I mean, she was the one that went up to their asked for a manager, because I'm terrified of confrontation, and I'm terrified of just like, I don't know. I'm just not feeling good, you know? A lot of things are going like decently well in my life, but for how long, you know? Everything is just so stable right now, and I'm not used to every stability. And it's just, I'm also terrified of rejection. That's another thing. I'm like, oh, like I remember we went to Arcade Monsters a few months back, probably back in like the winter time or something. And one of the hosts, or like the people at the entry, we were talking about J fashion. They were into Gyaru, and we just talked about fashion in general. And I told myself, hey, we had a pretty good conversation. Why don't you go ask for their Instagram or something? This is prior to the whole Instagram banning thing. So maybe it was like in November or December. And I just never got brave enough to ask them. I was too scared. I was too scared to ask them for their Instagram because I was scared of being rejected. Just like everything else in my life, I've always been just the fear of rejection, the fear of not fitting in, the fear of not being good enough. It's just tough, you know? I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better person. I want to get myself out there. But I'm terrified. I'm terrified of everything. I'm terrified of just not being good enough. And I'm just, I don't know. Sorry. I like I told you guys, I'm pretty depressed right now, and it's pretty tough to want to do anything. I'm trying to force myself to do this. So if you're somebody that normally watches my shorts, I'm sorry, but I'm probably not going to create like quote unquote decent. Is any of my shorts content really decent? I don't know. But I'm probably not going to do like these elaborated build with me posts anymore because I just don't feel like it's good enough. Nothing. I feel like nothing I'm doing is good enough. So she's done. So, not a good angle. Let me see if I can find a better angle for y'all. But I'll have a better angle tomorrow as well because I'll actually be leaving the house with this on. Still not a good angle. Whatever. I have a feeling that I'm going to end up lobbing or cutting some of this off because it's this long. So I think I want to kind of like bring it up here, and then whatever I do with the bottom, I think I'm going to end up using it for the black part of the skirt that I was planning on using, mixing the whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just so like brain not work. But kind of around here is where I want to kind of cut it off. You probably can't see because it's purple and black, and then this light. Let me see if I can hide that. Maybe this helps a little bit, but yeah, I kind of want to bring it up here. And then, yeah, can't wait to style it tomorrow. Sorry, I'm so sad, but tomorrow I should be a little bit happier. I'm going to wear it with this. And then, yeah, it's going to be a cute outfit. See y'all tomorrow. Hey, here's the outfit. Gosh, okay, there. We kind of adjusted the light. I do like this. I still think I might cut this a little bit shorter, but it would look really good over like a petticoat one day. I don't have a petticoat because I don't really have a use for it, but it is an option now that I have this. And shoes. Everything I've made except for the necklace and well, this is a dress, but like it's a bodycon dress, I think. And I've had it since 2016. So it's just been sitting in the closet because I just didn't know how to wear it. But I usually just use it like I pair it with shorts or a skirt underneath because it's a nice little collar piece. Not gonna lie, it's giving Wednesday Addams, and I get that comment all the time. It's a curse, honestly. It's that or Draculaura. No in betweens. But yeah, I'm really proud of this. Oh yeah, and I'm wearing the beret that I made. I haven't gotten a glow in the dark photo yet, but I do kind of plan on getting a photo at the arcade because I think it's fun, and I think that kind of like matches my aesthetic in a way. I do like how open it is because like nice little breeze. Neat. Yeah, I can't wait to get like something a little bit more poofier under here to make it like more, and then yeah, kind of going for like what's the word? It's the Prince thing. It's like the male version of a Lolita, and I can't remember what it's called right now. I love that style a lot, and I want to get more into it. I also really want to get into more androgynous styles, but I feel like I just don't have the materials or the patterns or anything for that. And like right now, I'm like going through pretty bad body dysmorphia, so it's not so bad that it's like I'm in bed all the time. I'm in bed a lot more often, but it's bad enough where I'm just like, I can't do anything right, Oh, I do feel better, by the way. Maybe all I needed was that nap. It was more than that, but yeah, I'm pretty proud of this. This can be used as an apron. It can be used as like a capelet and as an overskirt. I feel like because this is a gathered skirt, it doesn't like really do the effect that I want it to. Eventually, I want to get into like making overskirts that are like shaped at the hem. But for now, I'm just using whatever I have in my thing, in my arsenal, I guess. Yeah. All right. So we're about to head to Melbourne. The dogs are outside. And yeah, I'm not going to vlog because I still don't feel comfortable with that yet. Maybe one day in like 10 years from now. But today is not that day. Hey, good afternoon. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We went to the mall out there, which I am a mall rat. I've always been a mall rat. I personally didn't spend any money. My husband did, but it was spending money on me. We did get like a cute little mystery box. It came with a pom-pom purin in it. Let me go grab it real quick. I just threw away the box, so I can't show you, but it's this little witchy set. We were hoping for the cinema roll, of course, but the kuromi was pretty cute. There were 2 My Melodies in there. There was a special, which would be kuromi, because I think it was supposed to be a kuromi like special box. He's super duper cute, isn't he? Pom Pom Purin is like the second one my husband, like my husband likes Pom Pom Purin. We both like cinema roll. I think he actually likes cinema roll more than I do. He spent $40 on a big old plush, and me being goth, emo adjacent, I guess. It's really funny watching me walk around the mall with that on. Got to meet like a really nice, sweet couple, well, more like one of the partners. They saw me walk in, and they're like trying to guess what my style was, and they were like, "So I'm getting Wednesday mixed with like Draculaura," and before he even moved on from Draculaura, I'm like, I get Draculaura all the time. And like, I honestly don't know why I get Draculaura. Like when I do the pastel goth thing, I get it. But like when I'm doing just regular, I mean, I was wearing purple, so maybe that's part of it. And I asked my husband, and he's like, I think it might be the black lipstick with the eyeliner. Well, I think it's the eyeliner. And he's like, yeah, mixed with the black lipstick. And I'm like, do people not really wear black lipstick? I guess that's a thing. Not many people wear black lipstick. And then eventually I got around to telling the person that I'm really into Jane fashion and 1940s fashion. It's a really weird mix. And he was like super excited about it. And like, we were just talking, and then he was talking about how like he's really into steampunk. And I was like, just do it. Like, honestly, being in Florida is probably the best place to be experimental with your style, because like, there's so many people here that are just tourists. So like, it's really the best place to like be brave about your style. And like, yeah, we have those really conservative people out here who like look at you like you're crazy. But honestly, the Melbourne Mall had a lot of alternative people in it. They had the Spencers and Hot Topic, which was pretty normal, but they still had a PacSun. And my husband had never heard of a PacSun. He's like into the surfer stuff. So, and him not hearing about PacSun like kind of makes me feel like it's a Florida thing, maybe. Yeah, they had PacSun, they had Tilly's. Like I said, they had Hot Topic and Spencer's. I think they had another like surf shop there too, and I can't remember what it was. They had Journeys, and I'm not trying to like be a shill for them or anything. It's just like, this is part of mall culture. They also had a Miniso, which is where we ended up purchasing this little guy. Oh, I meant to show you guys. My husband bought it for me, and I feel bad because like it is a no spend month, but also my husband said he'd buy it for me. So I got this makeup. I haven't bought makeup in a really long time, and I think that's why like I was really convinced, because we don't have a Miniso. We do have a Miniso. It's in Orlando, but this is the makeup palette. Very cute colors. The glitter is what got me. You can't really see the glitter here, but like it's kind of a bluish purple down there. I wish I could show you guys better. No. Well, anyways, it's a really pretty glitter, and I'm really excited because it like lasts forever. It's one of those smooth formulas that you get in K Beauty and C Beauty. So it is K Beauty at the end of the day. What's the brand? It's Colorgram. Anyways, I'll be using this, so that's pretty nice. I should put this away later. But we got that, and then we also got something. Oh, Cinema Roll Band. Well, Sanrio Band-Aids, because I do end up hurting myself quite a bit. So he's like, it's cute. I should get it. If I get something else, I'll get it. I'm like, okay. So, right now I am taking this apart because these are 2 different sizes. I don't remember what I did with this one. So I'm just going to take them apart, and I'm going to actually work on the skirt. That's what's happening right now. I don't care. It's just what it is. I'm going to film everything. I have everything set up to start filming. And yeah, I gotta pull the scissors so I can remember to film that. Scissors. Oh, also we went to Arcade Monsters. Their Arcade Monsters was very quiet, and it may have been because it was Tuesday, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, but it was very like nice, because I think I've told you guys about the Arcade Monsters in Orlando. The Arcade Monsters in Orlando, like they have rhythm games, but they're all in like this back corner of the building. And if one person's playing a rhythm game, nobody else can play a video a rhythm game, and I feel really bad because when I was there, I was playing DDR, and there was somebody else in the corner, and I think I messed up their like little recording session or something. And I feel really bad because like I don't know the culture of that Arcade Monsters because I never really like I went to arcades when I was a kid, but I never understood like the arcade culture. I just knew of the games. And the older I get, the more I'm realizing there is an actual like respect thing that you do. There's people that go just for the rhythm games, which would be me. And I remember also when I was out in Little Rock, and I feel really, really bad about this one, but there was a kid sitting on like next to the DDR machine, and all I wanted to do was play DDR because I love DDR. It's the thing that keeps me like active, especially when I was a kid. I was telling my husband this, like I would eat a lot of like hot Cheetos because I was a hot Cheeto girly. My brother would like make a comment like, I don't understand how you're able to eat all that junk food and still not gain that much weight. And it was literally because I was waking up before anybody else in the house, besides my mom. My mom would go off to church, but I was waking up before everybody in the house, and I would just play DDR first thing in the morning for like an hour and a half. That was my exercise every single morning. And then on top of that, you know, when you're younger, your metabolism is a lot better. So yeah, that was me every single morning. I was obsessed with DDR. Going back to the Little Rock deal, I feel really bad because there was a kid sitting on the left of the DDR machine, and I didn't think about it before I started playing, but he was in the middle of a rhythm game, and as soon as we started playing, like he just got up and left before finishing the game. And looking back at it, it's because we were playing the game right next to him, and that was so disrespectful of me. And just so you know, if you're into or trying to get back into the arcade culture, that is a part of the culture. And knowing that you have to take turns, and like if you're trying to think of opening up an arcade, don't put the rhythm games next to each other, please. A large part of rhythm games is being able to hear the music. Yeah, so the Orlando one, like I said, the arcade, the rhythm games are all in the back right corner in a little tucked in room. I absolutely was overstimulated. My husband was absolutely overstimulated. He hated being back there. And then everybody, like when we went, was starting to pile in and start playing the rhythm game. So it got really loud in there. But the Melbourne one, they had the rhythm game spread out. So the DDR machine was really far away from the pump it up machine, which I'm not good at pump it up. I tried so hard to be good at it, but it's just the way that the legs are placed, because you have the two diagonals and then you have the one in the middle. Like it should be not too hard to get used to, but like I think I'm just getting older. Pump it up didn't come out until after I left my DDR phase. There was also, I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like a shuffle machine where you like do the shuffling basics, I guess. And that one was in the room, like in the main lobby room. It was too hot in that room, first of all, and it was kind of stinky. I don't know what the smell was, but whatever. And like I said, the DDR was in another room, and the taiko drums were pretty far away. There was also like a little corner of rhythm games for like the hand rhythm games. And those ones are ones that you can put your earplugs in. So I think that was a really good setup. I really love the way that they have it set up. I wish the other arcades would do that, but we'll see. They, of course, had the normal, like, pinball machines because it's an American arcade at the end of the day. They had the pinball machines, they had skee ball, they had a couple of, like, shooter games. And I think this particular location is really into Halloween because they had, like, wall art that was Halloween themed. And they also had, like, a little haunted doll in the corner, which I thought was super cute because it was, like, kind of like a clown. And, like, it was, like, in a glass, like, if you remember what like the newspaper things look like when you like had to put 25 cents and then pull open and then you could grab a newspaper, it kind of looked like that, but like not where you can like pull it open, but like yeah. And then there's like a little tent style top on it. It was really cute. But yeah, that was Melbourne, and it was a lot of fun, and I kind of want to go back because I felt like not super outcasty there, because like even though Orlando is a very like big city and there are a lot of like alternative people out here, there's a lot more not alternative people out here as opposed to Melbourne. But to be honest too, Melbourne was just, I think I just got lucky because I think school is out right now, so that might be part of it. And another thing was like, there's a lot of kids, so I don't really want to associate with the kids. I did really, really enjoy the conversation I had with the person in the mall because like that's where we got the $40 cinema roll. He's buckled up in the backseat of my husband's car, so I can't show you, but he's pretty big. He's like this big, this chunky. Love him. Very cuddly. My husband also got kind of scammed into doing a 45-minute chair massage. He meant to only do like 15 minutes, but I guess there was no option to change it. I highly suggest the Melbourne Mall. It is not a dead mall. It is absolutely a poppin' mall. There was not a single store that was storefront that was closed that I saw. They still had like modern day shopping locations, some that I'm not fully aware of because I don't go mall shopping very often. I wish we had a square mall closer to me. I had to go like an hour either direction to find one. And like, it's not because I like to shop. It's because it's part of like, I don't know, the poor kid culture and like alternative kid culture. Like, even though I was like a mall goth and emo kid, it was definitely one of those like, I went just to hang out with my friends. Like, the food court is where it was. I would say the Melbourne food court was kind of sad. I think they were trying to cater to a more American palate, and they could probably do better by not having just American food. I mean, they did have like, you know, the standard Chinese restaurant, but like the standard Chinese restaurant isn't like good food, if that makes sense. It's cheap food. That's what it is. And like, I think that's an important part of mall food culture as well. There's a whole culture to the mall food too. And if you don't have like a Dippin' Dots, or if you don't have like, there used to be Taco Bells in a lot of malls growing up, but nowadays it's not as frequent. Chick-fil-A is really popular in malls right now. I'm not entirely sure why, but they are. And then there's the pizza places always. We didn't really take long looking at it because my husband saw the BJ's Brew House right across the street, and he's like, I want to do that because we haven't had that since we lived in Arkansas. And it's like, yeah, let's do that. They don't have monkey bread anymore, by the way, but they had $5 Pazookies on Tuesdays. So anyways, I'm going to keep on undoing this, and then I'm going to start filming so I can get this skirt pattern. Did I tell you guys? I'm making the skirt. I'm finally getting around to doing the skirt, and hopefully I'll get it done by the end of the day. Oh, also, I was able to finish up the majority of the assembly portion. It's probably not super pretty. Only 2 people have gotten to the assembly portion part. One person did message recently saying that they're sorry that they weren't able to get around to it because they had 2 commissions come up. And I'm like, yeah, take your time. You guys have a little bit of wiggle. Like, I gave them until the end of this month to finish the bodice piece itself, but I'm releasing the pattern on June 20th. Or yeah, June. Is it June? What day is it? On the 20th, whatever. Yeah, June 20th. That's when I plan on releasing the pattern. And right now, I have somebody from the smallest size and somebody from the largest size testing. So that being the case, I think it will be okay. I will still make a little footnote whenever I post the pattern to say, hey, by the way, not all the patterns have been tested. So if you find any discrepancies, please let me know, and I will reply to you and work with you as much as I can. And then, like, I don't know if I want to do like a refund for anybody that it doesn't, maybe a partial refund or something. But yeah, I'll have to like look into it. I don't know how that works out, but I'm starting to feel less pressured socially, which is really nice because like it was tough. Like, I had a lot of messages that I haven't responded to and all that soon. I kind of want to put something out for Pride because I am queer, and I think it'd be a good point of like putting something like that out because there are a lot of queer people out there that need to like hear the message of what it's like to be queer, especially in a southern state like Florida, which is no longer a swing state, which really freaking sad, but you know, good old land of the free, I guess. Yeah, I think it'd be really nice to put a new video out about being queer for Pride Month next month. So, all right, let me continue doing this, and then I might show you some behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm probably busy listening to HHN podcasts, so give me a few minutes. Hey, y'all. I'm feeling much better. I needed a good cry, and I think that's what happened a couple days back. We're at the part where I kind of wrap up everything. I didn't show you guys behind the scenes of the skirt. So for the skirt, it's a pleated skirt pattern. I've been meaning to make this like tutorial since God knows when, like sometime in the spring, probably like March-ish. And here is how far I got so far. So I'm only like on row, I don't know, I can't count, but I have quite a few rows to go. I will plan on getting this out ASAP, but I don't know when that will be. Just soon-ish. So I'm proud of myself for finally getting around to that. I did finish the skirt. I don't feel like going to grab it because y'all already saw it. You saw me wear it. So that's another plus. I finished another beret, which not as in like I have two finished. I have the pictures all taken for the beret. I have pretty much the whole entire pattern written down. I did get in contact with Erie Knots, and she gave me the okay to make a pattern out of it. It's going to be a free pattern. I'm going to make it into a zine. So it is one of those that you will have to print at home for it to make sense because the pages are going to be all kinds of wonky. I think it's to help like prevent with like theft. And then also on top of that, whenever I make it to market, I need to contact my mother-in-law. I do plan on selling the zines at market just to like make up the cost of having to print it. But other than that, it's just going to be free online on my Ko-fi. I don't believe I'll have it done tonight. There's no way because I'm still in the middle of the actual pattern testing that I'm going through right now for my lacy cirrostratus top. We are at the very last portions of it. I have two pattern testers that did receive the assembly portions. I did ask them how they feel about it. They will probably get back to me. I have somebody else that just finished their bodice piece, so I do need to respond to them as soon as I finished recording this part and then publishing this video or like putting this on to publish, whatever, blah, 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 semantics. We did get a lot of work done this week, and I should be proud of myself and not so depressed. But, you know, you can't really change your depression. Like depression is depression. It's just a dopamine thing. It's something that you can't fix. I mean, you can take medication for it, but I'm not here to take medication for it. I want to try to be as natural about it as I can because I don't want to be dependent on medication. One, it's expensive. Two, not everybody has access to medication. And if I can characterize or like depict what it's like to live through this and like, I don't know how to get through, I think it's a good thing to show others that you can make it through without having to be dependent on medications. Whatever. What else did I finish this week? I feel like I finished one more thing. I mean, I think it's because I was working using this yarn on making leg warmers and just that never panned out well. So maybe that's what it was. But yeah, a lot of work done this week. And I am very grateful that y'all are here listening to me just talk and like be sad and just, I don't know. It's really, really nice to have like a little outlet for my art. Cause like, I think this is a very common thing with a lot of artists that we just kind of get sad about our art and like how it's not really taking off. And like, my goal isn't to like have art that takes off and becomes like world famous or anything. It's meant for niche communities. That's what my fashion style is a very niche fashion style. And I've explained it earlier how it's like J fashion mixed with 1940s. And that's such a weird niche. I don't think anybody would be able to like really understand what I was doing unless they were both simultaneously into J fashion in 1940s. And trust me, I've been trying to find y'all out there. I can't find y'all. I think there's like one other person that I saw that was like kind of into vintage J fashion, but it almost always leans more Lolita because Lolita is a vintage based fashion. So whatever. Oh, we did make dark chocolate pretzels. Chocolate dip pretzels, gnarly. That is a vocal stim right now. We did not like the song when it first came out, but now it's so catchy. I can't get it out of my head. Gnarly. It's just so good. Like, it just scratches the brain a little bit. I summed everything up. We got a lot done this week. I should be proud of myself. I shouldn't be so sad about everything.
I mean, I'm going to be sad anyways. That's just the way life is. But things are panning out well. I shouldn't be disappointed in myself. That's the better way to put it. I shouldn't. Oh, we got back to the piano. That's something we did this week too. Since the day that I told you that we got up to the 0.7 speed, I did make it up to 0.8 speed, but I haven't touched the piano since. So I might get back to it. I might not. I think the piece might be a little bit too hard for me to play on French horn, but it's nice to be able to like get back into transcribing. I don't think that's where my brain actually wants to take me. I think my brain was just like, ew, MIDI trumpet, and just wanted to show off, to be quite frank. And I do want to get back into music for sure. I just don't know how, and I don't know when or where, but it'll probably happen. Maybe over the summer. Maybe it's one of those like, because like that happened with me with crochet. I kind of got into it, but then I didn't get really deep into it until like months later. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. So just be prepared for that. I think I solved my issue with sewing, and the issue is that I don't want to film content for it anymore. I don't want to make like big, long, elaborate videos for it anymore. I think I just want to do it and show it off, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know how many people are watching my short form videos. And I know it's certainly more than that's watching my long form videos, but I'm kind of tired of just kind of filming the same thing over and over again. Like, I know there's a lot of people that do like special editing, different kinds of editing. There was this one sewing content creator that was like doing like tiny jump scares in between takes. And I was like, oh, that's kind of creative, but that's not something I want to do. I don't know. It's just, especially with like skirts or things that I've made before, I don't want to go through the process of making it again through video form, because I've done it before and people have seen it before. The video I put it out last night for the skirt, or the overskirt rather, didn't do too well. It, for some reason, within 5 minutes, got over 100 something views. And that's not really typical of my content. I don't know what happened there, but it had 1 like with 160 views, and that's very, very rare. And I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know if I enjoy it or if I dislike it. I just know that it was very different. I did post another video as soon as I finish recording this, and then like finish editing. I'm going to put out another video. I did put out this morning an outfit of the day video. Like, none of this matters, but yeah. Anyways, all right, I'm done talking. Are we done talking, buddy? He's sitting over there in his little chair, which is also my chair. Where are you? There he is. Aren't you a little cutie patootie? Yeah, so I'm going to sign off, say goodbye. We'll work on some more of this week. We'll be working on some other things this week. Probably actually getting into sewing. So I'll see you on Thursday, next Thursday. Bye-bye.